Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to the 300 most common words of the Quran series. We are on day 15, which is halfway, words 160 to 151. Well done for making it this far. Don't forget to read along with me and to read the word 3 times when I'm finished with it. First word is laakin, which means but. ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون. Indeed, it is they who are the corrupters, but they fail to perceive it. Here, ولكن refers to but. أسمع بهم وأبصر يوم يأتوننا لكن الظالمون اليوم في ضلال مبين. How clearly will they hear and see on the day they will come to us, but today the wrongdoers are clearly astray. Here, لكن refers to but. فلا صدق ولا صلى ولكن كذب وتولى. This denier neither believed nor prayed, but persisted in denial and turned away. Here, ولكن refers to but. لكن, but. لكن, but. لكن, but. The next word is bait, which means house. Coming from the root word of bait, which means house, tent, or dwelling. Similar words are abit, which means I reside. وإذ جعلنا البيت مثابة للناس وأمنا واتخذوا من مقام إبراهيم مصلى. And remember when we made the sacred house a center and a sanctuary for the people, saying, you may take the standing place of Ibrahim as a site of prayer. Here, al-bayt refers to the house or the sacred house. إن أول بيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين. Surely the first house of worship established for humanity is the one at Becca or Mecca, a blessed sanctuary and a guide for all people. Here, Bayt refers to house. لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. At least for the favor of making Quraysh habitually secure in their trading caravan to Yemen in the winter and Syria in the summer. Let them worship the Lord of this sacred house, who has fed them against hunger and made them secure against fear. Here, al-bayt refers to this house or this sacred house. Bayt, house. Bayt, house. Bayt, house. The next word is anfaqa, which means spent, which comes from the root of nafaq, which means to spend, donate, or tunnel. Similar words are infaq, which means spending, or munafiq, which means a hypocrite, relating to the tunnel meaning. وأنفقوا في سبيل الله ولا تلقوا بأيديكم إلى التهلكة وأحسنوا إن الله يحب المحسنين. Spend in the cause of Allah and do not let your own hands throw you into destruction by withholding, and do good, for Allah certainly loves the good doers. وأنفقوا refers to and spend. وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا. And so all his produce was totally ruined, so he started to wring his hands for all he had spent on it, while it had collapsed on its trellises. He cried, alas, I wish I had never associated anyone with my Lord in worship. Here, أنفق refers to he had spent. وأنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي أحدكم الموت فيقول رب لولا أخرتني إلى أجل قريب فأصدق وأكن من الصالحين. And donate from what we have provided for you before death comes to one of you and you cry, my Lord, if only you delayed me for a short while, I would give in charity and be one of the righteous. May Allah make us of those who always give charity and not those who regretted not giving charity. وأنفقوا here refers to and donate. أنفق, spent. أنفق, spent. أنفق, spent. The next word is istawa, which means established, rose, turn towards, or ascend. Coming from the root word of sawa, which means to be equal, level, or straighten out. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم. He is the one who created everything in the earth for you. Then he turned towards the heavens, forming it into 7 heavens, and he has perfect knowledge of all things. Here, istawa refers to he turned. الرحمن على العرش استوى, the most compassionate who is established on the throne. Here, istawa refers to established. ثم استوى إلى السماء وهي دخان فقال لها وللأرض ائتيا طوعا أو كرها قالتا أتينا طائعين. Then he turned towards the heaven when it was still like smoke, saying to it and to the earth, submit, willingly or unwillingly. They both responded, we submit willingly. Istawa refers to turned towards. Istawa, established, turn towards or ascend. Istawa, established, turn towards or ascend. Istawa, established, turn towards or ascend. The next word is wa'ada, which means promised, coming from the root word of wa'ad, which means to promise, pledge or a threat. Similar words are wu'ud, which means promises. وَلَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ إِذْ تَحُسُّونَهُم بِإِذْنِهِ حتى إذا فشلتم وتنازعتم في الأمر وعصيتم من بعد ما أراكم ما تحبون منكم من يريد الدنيا ومنكم من يريد الآخرة ثم صرفكم عنهم ليبتليكم. Indeed, Allah fulfilled His promise to you when you initially swept them away by His will. Then your courage weakened and you disputed about the command and disobeyed. After Allah had brought victory within your reach, some of you were after worldly gain, while others desired a heavenly reward. He denied you victory over them as a test. Here, wa'adahu refers to His promise. لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين غير أولي الضرر والمجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم فضل الله المجاهدين بأموالهم وأنفسهم على القاعدين درجة وكلا وعد الله الحسنى وفضل الله المجاهدين على القاعدين أجرا عظيما. Those believers who stay at home, except those with valid excuses, are not equal to those who strive in the cause of Allah with their wealth and their lives. Allah has elevated in rank those who strive with their wealth and their lives above those who stay behind with valid excuses. Allah has promised each a fine reward, but those who strive will receive a far better reward than others. Here, wa'ada refers to promised. وكذلك عثرنا عليهم ليعلموا أن وعد الله حق وأن الساعة لا ريب فيها إذ يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم. That is how we cause them to be discovered, so that their people might know that Allah's promise of resurrection is true, and that there is no doubt about the hour, when the people disputed with each other about the case of the youth after their death. Here, wa'ad refers to promise. Wa'ada, promised. Wa'ada, promised. Wa'ada, promised. The next word is yawma idh, which refers to that day or on that day, coming from a combination of yawm, which is a day, era or time, and idh, which means when or at the time. يومئذ يود الذين كفروا وعصوا الرسول لو تسوى بهم الأرض ولا يكتمون الله حديثا. On that day, those who denied Allah and disobeyed the Messenger will wish they were reduced to dust, and they will never be able to hide anything from Allah. Here, يومئذ refers to on that day. يوم يرون الملائكة لا بشرى يومئذ للمجرمين ويقولون حجرا محجورا. But on that day, they will see the angels. There will be no good news for the wicked, who will cry, keep away from us. Here it's used twice. Yawma and yawma idin both refers to on that day or the day. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Woe on that day to the deniers. Here, yawma idin refers to on that day. Yawma idh on that day. Yawma idh on that day. Yawma idh on that day. The next word is qiyamah, which refers to of resurrection, coming from the root word of qawm, which means to stand, rise, or resist, or people. Similar words are qum, which is an order to rise or get up, or aqum, which means I am rising. إن الذين يكتمون ما أنزل الله من الكتاب واشترون به ثمنا قليلا أولئك ما يأكلون في بطونهم إلا النار ولا يكلمهم الله يوم القيامة ولا يزكيهم ولهم عذاب أليم. Indeed, those who hide Allah's revelations, trade them for fleeting gain, consume nothing but fire into their bellies. Allah will neither speak to them on the Day of Judgment, nor will He purify them, and they will suffer a painful punishment. Where Yawm al-Qiyamah refers to the Day of Resurrection or the Day of Judgment. Allahu la ilaha illa hu ليجمعنكم إلى يوم القيامة لا ريب فيه ومن أصدق من الله حديثا. Allah, there is no God worthy of worship except Him. He will certainly gather all of you together on the Day of Judgment, about which there is no doubt, and whose word is more truthful than Allah's. Here again, al-qiyam refers to resurrection, but when used in yawm al-qiyam, refers to the day of resurrection or the day of judgment. ومن أعرض عن ذكري فإن له معيشة ضنكا ونحشره يوم القيامة أعمى. But whoever turns away from my reminder will certainly have a miserable life. Then we will raise them up blind on the day of judgment. May Allah not make us of those people. Here, once more, al-qiyamah refers to the day of judgment or the day of resurrection. Qiyamah, resurrection. Qiyamah, resurrection. Qiyamah, resurrection. The third last word is alqa, which means to cast or throw, coming from the root word of laqi, which means to cast, throw, meet, or receive. Similar words are yulqi, which means he casts, or alqi, which means I cast, or an order or command to cast. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا ضربتم في سبيل الله فتبينوا ولا تقولوا لمن ألقى إليكم السلام لست مؤمنا تبتغون عرض الحياة الدنيا فعند الله مغانم كثيرة كذلك كنتم من قبل فمن الله عليكم فتبينوا. O believers, when you struggle in the cause of Allah, be sure of who you fight, and do not say to those who offer you greetings of peace, you are no believer, seeking a fleeting worldly gain. Instead, Allah has infinite bounties in store. You were initially like them, then Allah blessed you with Islam, so be sure. Here, alqa refers to cast salam or offered you salam. فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. So Musa threw down his staff, and behold, it became a real snake. Here, فَأَلْقَى refers to, so he threw down. بَلِ الْإِنسَانُ عَلَى نَفْسِهِ بَصِيرَةٌ وَلَوْ أَلْقَى مَعَاذِيرَهُ. In fact, people will testify against their own souls, despite the excuses they come up with. Here, alqa refers to coming up with, or come up with. Alqa, to cast or throw. Alqa, to cast or throw. Alqa, to cast or throw. The second last word is ashraka, which means associate partners with Allah, coming from the root word of sharaka, which is to associate or partner. Similar words are mushrik, which means one who believes in or performs shirk, or sharik, which means partner. سيقول الذين أشركوا لو شاء الله ما أشركنا ولا آباؤنا ولا حرمنا من شيء كذلك كذب الذين من قبلهم حتى ذاقوا بأسنا. The polytheists will argue, had it been Allah's will, neither we nor our forefathers would have associated others with him in worship or made anything unlawful. Likewise, those before them rejected the truth until they tasted our punishment. Here, ashraku refers to those who associated partners with Allah, aka the polytheists, and ashrakna refers to associated others with him. لكنه الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا. But as for me, he is Allah, my Lord, and I will never associate anyone with my Lord in worship. Here, ushrika refers to associating with my Lord in worship. تدعونني لأكفر بالله وأشرك به ما ليس لي به علم وأنا أدعوكم إلى العزيز الغفار. You invite me to disbelieve in Allah and associate with him what I have no knowledge of, while I invite you to the Almighty, most forgiving. Here, وأشرك refers to and associate with. Ashraka, associate partners with Allah. Ashraka, associate partners with Allah. Ashraka, associate partners with Allah. And the final word for today is wajh, which means face, countenance, or direction, coming from the root word of wajaha, which means to face, front, or to turn towards, or the direction. Similar words include wajih, which is a command to face, or wajjaha, which means he faced. بلى من أسلم وجهه لله وهو محسن فله أجره عند ربه ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. But no, whoever submits themselves to Allah and does good will have their reward with their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will they grieve. Here, wajh refers to themselves. ولكل وجهة هو موليها فاستبقوا الخيرات أينما تكونوا يأتي بكم الله جميعا إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Everyone turns to their own direction of prayer, so compete with one another in doing good. Wherever you are, Allah will bring you all together for judgment. Surely Allah is most capable of everything. Here, wijhatun refers to direction, as in direction of prayer. إني وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. I have turned my face towards the one who has originated the heavens and the earth, being upright, and I am not one of the polytheists. Here it's used twice. Wajjahtu refers to turning, and wajhiya refers to my face. Wajh, face, countenance, or direction. Wajh, face, countenance, or direction. Wajh, face, countenance, or direction. So, to recap, laakin, but, bait, house, anfaqa, spent, istawa, established, rose, or ascended, wa'ada, promised, yawma'idh, on that day, qiyamah, resurrection, alqa, to cast or throw, ashraka, associate, and wajh, face, countenance, or direction. That is it for today's lesson. Make sure to go through at least one of these sets. And once again, well done for making it past the halfway point. I'll see you tomorrow, inshaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.